I will tell you that you should read. I love history because I know that we should all know as much history as possible. You know, Justin, the main lesson of history is few people learn the lessons of history. We recently had a president in the United States who either did not know history or thought that history didn't count, or thought that he was smarter than history. Well, I know I am not smarter than history. I know history is smarter than me, and history is smarter than most of us. So I urge everybody to learn or read as much history as you can. In fact, I'm fascinated by it. But part of the problem, Justin, is you ask books. I want to say to you, I could say read this history book, but don't, please don't, because every version of history is different. If you read a history book from country A, B, C, 5 countries, they're all going to tell you a different story or different version of history. They all think they're right. They all hope they're right. But unfortunately, 5 different versions of history cannot be right. What you have to do is read as much as you can, and then you have to figure out what really happened and what you should do about it. You can read about the Great Depression, for instance, because we're all talking about gold and silver and money and things like that. If you want to know about money and investing and economics, you cannot just read one version, because I assure you, if you read the Russian version of the Second World War and the American version of the Second World War, entirely different stories. You know, in Japan, for instance, they do not even teach about Pearl Harbor. You can be a Japanese kid, go to Japanese schools, and you'll never learn a word about Pearl Harbor. I say to Japanese friends, well, you know about the Second World War? Yeah, we know we know the Second World War existed, and you know you were at war with America. Yes, we know. We know there was a big war, and we know we were in it, and we know that we were fighting the Americans. And I say to them, how'd you get in the war? He said, we don't know. All we know is we were in the war. They never teach them about Pearl Harbor for whatever reasons. Now, and of course, America gives a bit of a distorted version of Pearl Harbor too, but my point is, there's no such thing as one history. You have to read them all as much as you can. And likewise, if you're going to be an investor, since we are talking about investing, you've got to get as many viewpoints as you can, because no matter how much people think they are right, and everybody who invests thinks that they're right, but we can't all be right. So you have to get as many different viewpoints as you can. You have to touch all the bases. When I was more active, I used to read newspapers from 5 countries every day. That was hard to do in the 70s. I mean, now it's easy to do. You just go on the internet. But the reason I did it was so that I could figure out what was really going on in the world and then make investment decisions.